Rivian and Lucid face a tough road ahead. The last half-decade has been a roller coaster ride for the entire auto industry. Between the pandemic causing soul-crushing supply chain issues to the pent-up demand resulting in wildly inflated car prices, even the most hardened brands faced adversity. Now, younger electric vehicle makers are now facing a disproportionate hardship as the EV tax credit rides off into the sunset. That means just as they're learning to ride the metaphorical bicycle, Big Daddy government is coming to ratchet off its training wheels. And that pavement below, it's not exactly pillow soft. It's about to become very apparent which brands learn to ride on two wheels, and which ones end up with skinned knees. EV startups are about to meet a harder market. Let's talk about newcomers like Rivian, Lucid, and Slate Auto. Many of these brands were banking on the EV tax credit to help grow their brands, and now that it's going away in less than 2 months, these brands will have to compete with legacy automakers who can ride out the storm thanks to a mix of old money and carbon-burning combustion engines. As you've undoubtedly heard, the $7,500 EV tax credit is going away at the end of September. With it goes an anticipated 320,000 would-be electric car buyers, effectively putting a big hole in the buoy that has kept these EV-only brands afloat in a cold ocean of hybrids. Let's start with Slate, the Bezos-backed startup that originally promised an ultra-cheap, Saturn-like EV pickup for under $20,000. That price tag came with an asterisk, though, as it was dependent on the tax credit the brand now hopes to reach the mid-$20,000s, and knows it will need to eat some of the cost that it can't pass on to consumer. The no-frills approach is actually pretty cool. Roll-up windows, no stereo. I mean, who does that in 2025? And it's kind of the point the novelty is willing over the internet. But as IC Cars executive analyst Carl Brauer told Automotive News recently, that's a poor predictor of how well a vehicle will sell. Most car buyers care about practicality, and when prices start to climb into Ford Maverick territory, are buyers really not going to spend a few more dollars for the creature comforts offered by the blue oval? Then come two heavier hitters, Rivian and Lucid. Both automakers are deep in the EV trenches, burning through billions of dollars in hopes that a new crossover, the R2 and Gravity, respectively, will help break them into more American households. But that $7,500 tax credit would have gone a long way to do so. Now that the training wheels are coming off, Brauer says that the repeal of the EV tax credit could result in the EV market taking, at most, a 50% tumble from 8% down to somewhere between 4% and 5%. Rivian expects a sales dip between 11% and 23% this year, with only one quarter being affected by the loss of the EV tax credit. It sold 51,579 cars last year. Lucid, meanwhile, expects to more than double its production, though the majority of its vehicles don't qualify for the tax credit anyway. It also speaks to who will be buying them. They're only going to be left with the true believers, said Brauer, specifically referring to consumers who will be unmoved by the repeal of the tax credit and still shop for EVs. Granted, Rivian and Lucid aren't exactly new at this. They're both just fighting an uphill battle where batteries have been weaponized into becoming political landmines. Source: reposted and summarized from Rob Stumpf at insideevs.